अब हम सॉल्व करेंगे लीड कोड 242 which is valid anagram. So what are anagrams? Anagrams are nothing but like anagram can be a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of different word or phrase. For example, let's say if I have the word anagram itself and I write another word. Let's say if you look at them carefully, both have same characters with same frequency, and if I write it properly, then you can see A is appearing 3 times, N is appearing 1 time, G 1 time, R 1 time, M 1 time. So is here A is appearing 3 times, N 1, G 1, R 1, and M is also appearing 1 time. So we know if we rearrange the characters of this word here, we will get anagram. Now I'll take another example. If we say we have cat and dog, these words are not anagram. Why? We cannot rearrange the characters of the word dog in such a way that we'll get cat at any point of time. So this is not an anagram. Okay. So this, if we receive any two strings having which are anagrams, we have to return true. If they're not, then we have to return false. So now how to come up, how to like code this, how to figure out if two strings are anagrams. If we have to code it, first we have to come up with an approach to figure out how we can identify if two strings are anagrams. So here we can see we have a criteria, we have figured out a way to identify if two strings are anagrams. That if we know all the characters and their frequency, we can say that, and if they match, then we can say this is an anagram, right? So the brute force solution would be to create a data structure, to use a data structure in such a way that we can have the characters and their frequency stored in it, and then we can compare both of them, and then we can return true or false, right? But that would require, but this will obviously take time. Complexity of that solution will obviously be big O of n, because we will be traversing the strings, we will be traversing the string uh, only once. We will not going to go go again and again and then do that. Space complexity here will also be linear, because we are going to maintain a data structure which will which will like keep a record of the characters that are there and their frequency. Now if we have to improve on that approach, how can we do it? There's a very good approach which we did use in another problem. What we can do, we can create a frequency map array. Okay, so we know for a fact that all the characters in the string are going to be from A to Z. That means there will be 26 characters, 26 unique characters at max. So we can have an array of size 26, right? Now what we can do is we can go through each character, and let's say, and this frequency array will represent all the alphabets that are there in English alphabet. That zero position we will have A, at one we will have B, then C, then D till Z. So if we get A in our string, we will increase, or we will increment whatever we have whatever number we have here. If say we had 0 and we encountered A, we will increment it by 1, it will be 1. And then when we see n, wherever n is there, we will increment that to 1. and then we can compare those, right? And then that is this solution is obviously, it is taking some extra space, but that is still constant. It is not linear. Here, the size of the temporary array that we are going to use to keep the alphabets and their frequency, this will increase the size of the string. Let's say we have a string of size uh, 1 million characters, then this array will become 1 million. But if we use this approach, it will always be an array of 26. So so here the space complexity will be O1 and time complexity will remain O(n). So now, how to code this? So let's do this on LeetCode. What I have done is I have initialized two integers which are nothing but the size of which will carry the size of the two strings n and m. If n and m are not equal, if n is not equal to m, we know that this cannot be anagram, right? Why? Because if two strings are same, or if two strings are anagrams, they're supposed to have same number of characters in it, right? If the size differs, or if the size of the both string differs, they are definitely not the anagrams. Okay. So now what we'll do, we will go through, we'll create a frequency map. And frequency is equal to new int of size 26. Now for int I is equal to 0, so I is less than n, I plus plus, frequency of s dot character at I minus 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 a plus plus and frequency of t dot character at I minus a minus minus. Now for int I in frequency of if I not equal to 0, return false. So what I have done is, if let's say I found a character in S and I'll increment its place in the frequency map, and then I'll again do a decrement of it. So if let's say A appeared on S and A appeared on T, in that case it will change it to 0. But let's say if there was A then it will increment a, and here it was b, then it will decrement b. So the value will still not be, the value will not be 0. That means it was not anagram. So we'll do this, we'll try we'll see if this works. Okay, build works. Now let's see if the code is submitted. Yep, submitted. Easy solution, done.